I hate hearing my own voice. But how do we overcome the cringe factor to be able to do YouTube? We want to do YouTube. It seems so easy for everybody else. But I don't know about you, but I'm over 50 and trying to get that authentic voice on YouTube for people that your audience, yet it seems to be the biggest barrier because we just want to cringe and just go, I don't know if I can even do this. And, you know, hearing your own voice on camera has got to be worse than Halloween Fright Night or whatever. But guess what? Even legendary singers and actors hate listening to their own voice. So you're definitely in famous company. And the irony is a thing that you find cringy can be the actual reason that people want to connect with us. I know that sounds weird, but I spent 6 years on YouTube with 5 of them sucking so badly at camera confidence and what I thought was camera confidence and understanding what real camera confidence is. So let me save you the headache. This is number 2 in a whole series. Like I've been doing 12 of these videos. And I just want to let you know that if you click subscribe, we're going to get into way more of these. But trying to get in front of people, especially when you're over 40, over 50, over 60, it feels hard because you feel like everybody else is, it's a little bit too easy for them. And you have so much to say. You have so much you just want to let people know, your audience know, share. And you can tell a friend easy over coffee. Yet as soon as the little red light comes on, it's like, I don't even know if I can do this. So I want to go through this and I just want to let you know that it's okay. You're probably getting a little bit anxious right now. Just stop and breathe. And I'll get into that, why that's actually important. Yeah, I want to uncover why you feel that cringe when you hear your own voice. I mean, there's that inner ear voice that you always hear of yourself, that your friends, even strangers, they never hear that. So first of all, if you listen to yourself on a recording, you're actually not listening to the voice that you already know and love. But also, when you record your voice, it squashes it, it changes it, it puts it into something else. And that's never going to be the same anyway. So do not think that whatever you record is going to sound anything like what you think it should be, because it will always be different. There are quite a lot of people, very famous people, that don't like their own voice. Like David Beckham, he's a legendary footballer. He says that he dislikes his own voice. He feels like it doesn't match what it perceives himself, or he perceives himself, which I think is kind of what I'm saying. Adele, you would think that she would love hearing her own self sing. She can't stand herself when listening to her when she speaks. Barack Obama doesn't like his speak. Tina Fey, Morgan Freeman. How could he not listen to his own voice and just think, oh, wow, that's cool? Might be full of himself. Maybe that's the other part, is we would be full of ourselves if we loved what we heard. Who we got? Ricky Gervais, Emma Watson, Seth MacFarlane. He does so many voices for Family Guy and everything. And I guess he likes those voices, but when he hears himself, he hates it. Billie Eilish and Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp hates watching his own movies, because every time he does, he hears his own voice, even if it's a character, and he just thinks, nah, I can't do it. So that he just doesn't watch his own videos or movies. If you feel that you don't like your own voice, there's a reason. And yeah, it's a multi-set problem, but it's mainly because maybe we're not meant to. And the thing is, like I said, the thing that makes your voice unique is probably something that makes you cringe. Yet somebody else, they will love. They think, oh yeah, I love that person's voice because I love Johnny Depp's voice when he's doing this. Johnny Depp doesn't like it. And one thing I found really, really interesting is that when I first did my very first video recording, I was awkward. I was a bit slow. I was, I don't know, not looking at the camera. Awkward. That's all I can put it is. And looking back at it, I always used to cringe and just think, oh, it's not that great. And then I spent the next 5 years trying to improve my craft. Now, one thing I found is that talking to someone over coffee is very different to talking to someone on camera, because we kind of blend those two things and think they're one. Talking naturally is one thing. Having confidence in front of a camera is just generally not caring about the camera being there and maybe thinking about the person behind the camera who's watching it wherever you're watching this right now. But you need to separate those two things, because having confidence in camera, really technically speaking, you could turn your camera on, have the little red light blinking, sit there and go, you know what? I'm okay sitting in front of it. I'm not going to talk. It's fine. That's camera confidence. Just having the camera on and being okay with it. Talking normally, naturally, trying to convey a story, that's a very different skill, and it's not camera confidence. And the thing is, talking, you've already got that down pat. So just do that. I've got some techniques that maybe might help. One is, now, this probably sounds a little bit contradictory. The first thing is, you can record, practice, make it very short, and just say, hey, my name is Craig. This channel that I'm doing, doesn't have to be perfect, is Rush Factor for people over 40 that want to be on YouTube. And there's another thing. You can say, it doesn't matter. Just chill for the moment. You don't have to fix everything all at once. You can fix the ums later. Did it again. One thing I have learnt is breathing is important. But it's also part of the communication. One thing I found was when I first started editing, I want to edit out all the breaths, and I would lean into the camera and say, this is what I want to say, this is how it's going to be, and I would focus and I would cut out the breath, and it would just keep me, I was unrelenting. People don't want to listen to that. Being okay to breathe and to burp is fine. Maybe I shouldn't have had a drink. But breathing is okay. It's part of the expression. And that brings us to another one. Varying your pitch and pace, it's okay. Just being able to breathe, vary your pitch. Sometimes you say things quick. Sometimes you say them slow. And emphasize the last one on pitch and down. All these things make a difference, because if you just read, then it comes out like a robot, and nobody wants to hear that. People want to hear your authentic voice. So I think, first of all, you don't have to listen to yourself. You can just record, put it up on YouTube, forget. The other thing is, maybe it can be good just to listen. Because like I had recorded, this is going back in the 80s with 4-track recording. Oh, those were the days. And I recorded myself singing, and I heard myself singing for the first time, and it was awful because I was so breathy. And I'm not going to do much more of that because it's very annoying, but I thought, oh, wow, I'm breathing so much. So I thought, I've got to change that. So then I re-recorded it, and I thought, oh, that's a bit better. I'm not so breathy. And I did it again. And I found that the more I listened to myself, the more I improved. That can be for you as well. But there is a point where you think, okay, I think I've got enough. Then you can just lock it in the vault, put it up on YouTube, and you don't have to listen to yourself. But just remember, the thing that makes you quirky, the things that you think are quirky, should I say, they're the very things that people will love. You know, there are people with high voices and low voices, and people go, oh, that's just them. That's so cool. It's okay. But you've got to remember, camera confidence is something completely different to chatting to someone over a coffee. So don't put those two things together, because I spent 5 years trying to do that, and I was trying to be a reporter. I was trying to be a professional actor, or I was trying to be, sorry, I was trying to be something I wasn't. And don't do that. Be someone that you are, because what did someone say? If you try and be someone else, there's a lot of competition. But if you just be you, there is no competition. You just have to be you, and you don't have to pretend anything. So today's lesson, I guess, is just be natural. Breathe. Have a little bit of intonation, a bit of pitch, a bit of speed. Breathe. But just be you. It's okay. Sometimes you could probably just record yourself talking to a friend maybe, and you probably find that that's what you want to be. And when I recorded myself and I was so awkward originally, and then I tried to be professional, and then I look back at the awkward video that I did first, and I thought, actually, I think I nailed it on the head the first time with a few tweaks maybe. But where I am now, I don't like it. So the last year, I've suddenly discovered that it's just so much easier to be myself and not to be someone else. But you've got to practice. I think if you find the right audience, that'll make it so much easier to be able to convey the message that you can just be you and have that confidence in front of camera and not burn out. I just want you to have confidence, not for the camera, but for your audience. And it will make so much more sense, and you won't burn out. Go do something awesome.